Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad we're all here together. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by Ian Patrick, who will lead us in meditation, and then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we open it up for sharing. We end at 10:45. Over to you, Ian.
Oh, screen went funny. Morning, everyone. Really lovely to be with you again, and thanks to Jim for inviting me. And what I thought we'd do today is will be based on what's the lesson? Lesson 94 of A Course in Miracles. And basically, I think the message and the practice of A Course in Miracles is very simple. It can be, well, we're going to just see how simple it is in a moment. But having said it's simple, it's nevertheless not easy because of our resistance and our beliefs and everything. So to sum up A Course in Miracles, I would say, this is one way of summarizing it. The Course says we're not separate from God, and we cannot ever be separate from God. We cannot be apart from the all, apart from everything. We've never left our home in God. All that's happened is that we've literally forgotten who we are and have fallen asleep. And we're literally dreaming of being separate here in bodies in the world. We cannot be changed in any way by our forgetting. Now I'm going to show you a little. I hope this works. Just 1 second. Can you see that? Yes, you can see that. I used to teach this in my workshops. Very simple mathematical formula. Whenever I said mathematical formula, everyone groaned. But you can't get more simple than that. So what that 1 minus 1 equals 0. So the 0 represents the truth.
Ian,
That
put
nothing.
it on your chest.
Sorry, what was that?
Don't put it up to this. Put it on your chest. It's so it will be.
Is that better? Okay. 1 minus 1 equals 0. So 0 says that nothing happened. We haven't gone anywhere. We've never left God. We're perfect at home with God, and we remain as we were created. The first one says that we're separate, that we're bodies, that we're here in the world of pain and suffering, and that's what we believe. So since 0 is true, and the only thing that's true, 1 is not true, there must be mathematically and in reality, in the Course of Miracles, there must be the -1 here to undo the error, and that's the atonement, the Holy Spirit or Jesus, if you like, the active undoer of that one erroneous belief. Okay, hope that makes sense. Teresa's smiling, so I guess it does. So we can take two approaches to that very, very simple idea. We can take it as an intellectual understanding, which you could call a spiritual bypass, or take the path of having that as an experience, an actual awakening to reality, which takes work, it takes effort, and is often messy. Because we have to undo all the beliefs that we built, the obstacles to the remembrance of God and our reality as love. So the Course is aiming at the latter, for the experience rather than intellectual understanding. The path of the Course is to awaken to reality, to what always was and always will be. So lesson 94 is I am as God created me, and so it puts forth some of the ideas that I just mentioned briefly. So I'll read through not the entire lesson, but the bulk of it, and then it's not very long, and there's a couple of lines at the end which will take us into the meditation. They're kind of the affirmations in the lesson. So you may want to close your eyes now and listen to these words. Lesson 94, I am as God created me. Today, we continue with the one idea which brings complete salvation, the one statement which makes all form of temptation powerless, the one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone. You are as God created you. The sounds of this world are still, the sights of this world disappear, and all the thoughts that this world ever had are wiped away forever by this one idea. Here is salvation accomplished. Here is sanity restored. True light is strength, and strength is sinlessness. If you remain as God created you, you must be strong, and light must be in you. He who ensured your sinlessness must be the guarantee of strength and light as well. You are as God created you. Darkness cannot obscure the glory of God's Son. You stand in light, strong in the sinlessness in which you were created, and which you will remain throughout eternity. Today will be devoted to the attempt to feel the truth in you. Begin these times of searching with these words: I am as God created me. I am his Son eternally. Now try to reach the Son of God in you. This is the self that never sinned, nor made an image to replace reality. This is the self that never left his home in God to walk the world uncertainly. This is the self that knows no fear, nor could conceive of loss or suffering or death. Nothing is required of you to reach this goal, except to lay all idols and self-images aside. Go past the list of attributes, both good and bad, that you have ascribed to yourself, and wait in silent expectancy for the truth. God has himself promised that it will be revealed to all who ask for it. And you are asking now. You cannot fail because he cannot fail. So we repeat again, I am as God created me. I am his Son eternally.
open your eyes and come back into the room. I'm sure you all heard that bell. Who would like to share something, or ask a question? Vivian, take yourself off mute.
Yes, it was really lovely. I went on from that idea of God created me to a sense of awe and wonder that I had been created at all, the sort of mystery and wonder of being created by God. And then I went into a sense of gratitude. That's all I can really say, but it was that sense of the mystery of my own creation and that God did it for me. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Who's the me? When you said I was created, who's the I or the me?
Yeah, God create, yes. Well, I mean, it applies to all of us, doesn't it? But I had that personal sense of, good heavens, I've actually been created by God. How amazing is that? That's all really. But I hadn't ever looked on that statement that led me to that sense of wonder and awe of the whole thing of creation, generally, if you know what I mean.
Wow. Thank you.
Okay, Norman, take yourself off mute.
Yes, thank you. I had a very similar experience to that when you mentioned your story, Vivian, a long time ago. I was sort of complaining to God that my first thought as a very young child in nappies was, here's a man, what's that you've got in your hand? And I said, a big stick. Here comes a big man, he's bigger than you, you better hit him with it before he hits you. And I did. And my next thought was, why did he not hit me back? And he marched on and over the hill. And the next thought after that was, I better be careful if I go over that hill. He'd be waiting for me. And so the first thought was an ego thought, as we call it now. And then rationalize it. And then fear crept in. Can't go over the hill. And that tortured me when I started doing the course as to why my first thought was that. The ego thought, it says the ego always speaks first. But the awareness then of the answer is very simple. It's just like Vivian. Norman, you were never born. And that set me back on the heels quite a bit. Norman, you were never born. So it sort of lends everything to the dreaming idea. That I'm still at home in heaven, dreaming, and all this world does not exist. It's just my imagination. And then last year, I was at a dinner, and there was a lot of people there, and the tables were round. And when the dinner came to be served, and there were speeches and all sorts of things, when the dinner came to be served, one chap sort of announced, it's all right, chap, I'll buy the wine. Don't worry about that. I'm going to treat this. I'm going to buy the wine. And I thought, probably a rich farmer, more money than sense. Then the guy next to him said, yes, I'll have some red wine or whatever. And I thought, he's an opportunist. Sitting beside the man with the money. The next one said, well, I just have one glass, I'm driving. And I thought, he's ultra cautious. So I'd sort of given them all the ideas I thought they were. But the very last speaker, I had my back to them. He was making no sense whatsoever. So I turned around to have a look at him, and I listened, and I couldn't form an opinion because it just didn't make any sense at all. So I was a bit puzzled about that. And I turned around to the table again, and here's the three people that I was given all their what I thought they were, as if it was at a mass ball. They were holding up, a mass to their faces, and on the mass were written all the attributes I had given them. And I looked at it, and I couldn't see their eyes above the mask, like their eyes were sparkling like diamonds. They didn't have a face, they didn't have hair or anything. There was a very light, sort of the halo type thing, the outline of a head. I called it ice blue, but somebody else said it was a neon blue. They knew what I was talking about. So, and it was as if all three of them said together, "Gotcha. We are not what you think we are." And then I blinked my eyes, and of course they were back to normal. But it set me back on the heels. But then I recovered, and I thought, well, if I could see what they are, beautiful spirit, I must have seen that first in myself. So it didn't really feel too bad. So the oneness, it was just amazing, just in that experience. But of course, I can only tell this story here. If I told it anywhere else, I'd get locked up. So thank you very much for just reminding me of that. Okay.
Thank you, Norman. Yeah, when you were telling a story about the guy with the stick, and you, if I understood correctly, you thought he was going to be hiding over the hill to hit you back, to punish you. It just occurred to me that really is a sort of an analogy of the ego's attitude towards God, that we think we're hiding out in this world because we think if we go home we're going to be punished, the prodigal son kind of thing. If we go over the hill, there's going to be someone waiting there with a stick to hit us. God will be waiting for us to punish us for separating from him, apparently. And of course that's all a mistake. And then we the people at the party, the dinner, was it, holding the masks up, and you realize that you'd written those attributes on their masks, and that's exactly what we do. We project onto others actually what we believe about ourselves, project onto them, and we see those attributes there in them. So the world is just mirroring back to us our beliefs. So that's quite profound, really. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who'd like to share? Ayu, take yourself off mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian. The formula you show us, it was very, very clear, and I really liked that. I never seen that formula before. And just a couple of weeks ago, well, no, recently, my husband and I was discussing the next holiday plan, which is next year he might visit his friend in Australia. And I really, to be honest, I don't want to go. So I was asking the Holy Spirit to, what should I do, and if there's any good idea, good timing, where to stay and so on, tell me. But just yesterday, it occurred to me, no, I'm asking the wrong questions, because if I'm looking at my husband, as some of you as know, he's in a wheelchair, so I'm concerned about his safety. Safety is important, but I was so much focused on his as a body to carry on his holiday safely. Too much concern about his bodily safety. So now you remind me again, if I was exactly the same as God, he must be exactly the same. He doesn't need my protection. If if it's a good idea, the Holy Spirit will tell me, but that's not my concern. So right question to Holy Spirit, let me not see illusion as a real, because I'm believing everything is a real. So remind me again, me and my husband is exactly the same as God. Just let me not see illusion as a real. So your formula you showed me was again another reminder for me. If that makes sense. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Okay, you're very welcome. Yeah, when you said you've never seen that formula before, because actually I have to say, I dreamt that up. So I have the copyright over that formula.
Mm.
That's yeah, I'm glad it was helpful. And yeah, on taking your husband going on this trip, I think we have to be we believe in this world and we believe in our bodies. And the Course talks about denial of the body being a particularly unworthy form of denial. So so long as we believe in the bodies, we have to take care of them. So, maybe he does need some assistance on a trip like that, even though it's not real and he's not real and there's nowhere to go. He's not going anywhere. There's no trip. There's no airplane. There's no Australia. There's no friend. There's nothing. But he and you believe in those things.
And I thought I'm the one who have to think about the safety, but that was wrong. That's not my job to concern about. My job is to let all this story goes, and I have to forget about what even I asked for. So that's my job. So
Sure.
it was a good that actually the last week Annie told us her the forgiveness. That was also another reminder. And again, today is also, it just give me more concrete, remind me again, oh, I'm mistaken. My way of forgiveness was I'm doing the wrong forgiveness. Forgiveness will destroy. I have to go back to the center. So that was a very, very good. Thank you.
Who'd like to share? John, take yourself off mute.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ian. That was lovely. And like I would just shared, I hadn't seen that formula before. And I loved it. So I like things simple, And
Yeah.
I really do. And it's interesting. I also love your whole introduction piece where you spoke, because what I found with the Course, when the Course found me, I was very unusually, I did what I was told, because I have definitely had a rebellion pattern through my life. I like to think it's going now. But anyway, so when I got the book, for whatever reason, I was so drawn to the preface and the introduction. And I really focused on it and I took it in. And I thought it was fascinating. First of all, how it came to be, how the Course came to be, fascinated me. But then I was fascinated with the fact that Jesus said, do not try to understand this Course. It's there in black and white. Do not try to understand this Course. That's the work of the ego. But, practice the lesson. So I took that on board. And I read the Course cover to cover without understanding probably 99% of it. And I didn't worry about it. That was the thing. I knew that it was going into my subconscious and that the important thing was for me to do the lessons. And I have to say, the lessons are just amazing. And I love the fact that they're there for us when we're ready, and that even they have rules. Don't do more than one a day. Because the old me, I'd like to do 50. I want it all, and I want it now. So that was a great reminder. And the 1 - 1. And also, just like to share something. We recently had a friend come and join us when we were in Canada. They were in a wheelchair. And I have to say that when they explained what happened, they asked for assistance, when they booked their flight. And they said it was absolutely staggering. She said she was taken care of. She was moved in, that she never had to get out of the wheelchair. Somebody took her up raised them up into the side of the plane, and then they wheeled in. She said it just blew her mind. She had nothing to worry about. So it is quite amazing what the airlines do these days. But no, thank you, Ian. It's lovely, and it's a lovely, lovely quiet time. I also like the fact that you mentioned you copyrighted, because I love the word copyright. I believe it means copy it and get it right, because everything comes from one source. So thank you for everyone who shared as well. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, John. They say understanding is the booby prize, right? I think, I don't know who said that. Chuck Spezzano, I think. But I'm an intellectual type, and I like to understand. So I love that formula because it doesn't require a lot of understanding. But if it's a nice little, I don't know, little kind of label to go back to, a tag to refer back to when practicing the course. It's just a simple, instant reminder of the truth. That's why I like it. It amuses me. But thanks. I love that. It's great to hear about your friend being hoisted into an airplane. I assume that wasn't Ryanair.
No. But it's amazing the contraptions that they've invented. Just incredible.
Yeah.
They do it for all the airlines, Ryanair included.
Do they?
Or special assistance. You ask for special assistance, you book it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no difference between the airlines.
Good to know.
Because it's special assistance.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Ian, for joining us today and for everything you've contributed. And take yourself off mute and show your appreciation.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Love you,
Ian.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you, Mindful Network.